TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you so much. Here, the program still much alive here. Yeah, I told you that we're expecting the Honorable Commissioner for Communications and Orientation in Edo State, Mr. Paul Ohombamo. So you're welcome to this program this morning on ITV.
Good morning.
Yeah, we've been looking at the recent developments in Edo State, whereby the state, is set to fumigate the markets. It starts today, public markets in Edo State.
Yes.
Now, what do you think has necessitated this move?
Thank you very much. It is part of the measures, precautionary measures the government of Edo has put in place to ensure that, the wellness of the people and, fight headlong the scourge of COVID-19.
Okay.
So when fumigation has been going on in public places like parastatals and streets in Benin and in other metropolises, other areas, local government headquarters. But there's the need to fumigate specifically where people converge, like the markets. So when people say shut down, they give the impression in the extreme. We have avoided these two extremes. It's not just shut down, it's relocation. Okay. They are being relocated to public primary and secondary within the vicinity, so that our people can still go to the places to buy their things.
Okay, now this exercise, how long is it going to last?
Yeah, it cannot last long. We don't even pray for the COVID-19 to continue in this pace. But you should realize that within the short span of time, the alarming rate of the numbers coming out in Edo is becoming really severe, and steps need to be taken before the situation becomes critical.
So are you trying to say that
this is part of the step taken? Yeah. So go to school, not the classroom, but the field. As I was coming, I saw the primary school almost opposite here, and I saw the sanity. You can't get that the way the markets were. So now, in terms of enforcement, they have been sensitized by the leaders of the market association, the PO1, the enforcement to ensure social distancing, even in that area. So I think the arrangement is to ensure that the wares are put, for food stuff. Those are the only ones that can open food stuff and pharmaceutical, so that the wares are placed, the goods are placed in such a way that people don't have free ingress and egress. That social distancing will still be maintained. Okay. So I think all these measures are just there. The governor has put them in place in a general, honest talk and common good to all for the awareness of the society.
Yeah, Commissioner, I asked a question a while ago that this exercise of fumigating the markets, how long is it going to last? One expect that maybe it's for just 1 or 2 days. But from what you spoke now, it appears it's going to last until the cases of COVID-19 start coming down in those states.
But when I say it's part of the measures, for example, stay at home. Okay. It's a measure. The virus does not move. It is human beings that move the virus. So when you stay at home, you keep away from people. There are two principles I have told, Edo people that we must adopt here. It's part of the 3 principles in revolutionary warfare. One of the 2 principles is utter vigilance. You have to watch people to see if there are symptoms coming out, or if they exhibit any symptom of COVID-19. That is 1. Then 2, total distrust. You don't know who is carrying it. So that's why the issue of social distancing is paramount. You must, arm's length, even double arm's length, to ensure that this thing does not, because it is a leveler. It has shown that it's a leveler. It has no respect for anyone. Upon the purple altar of death lies both the victor and the vanquished. No one is free from this.
Yeah, so, Commissioner, considering the fact that, the development is good, there's no doubt about that. But we're also looking at the attendant implications. For example, you have to move a certain trader from a place that he's used to, then you move him to an unprepared place. We just had Mr. Lucky Urukwe. He's the president of Traders Welfare Union in Nigeria. And of course, he talked about, that in the first place, that their own union is not part of this arrangement. And also, he also made mention that the alternative places are not prepared for sales. So you move a market woman from a market, you take that person to the nearest primary or secondary school, when there are no stores, there are no shops, there are no shades prepared, and that's not comfortable.
Well, in terms of comfort, the market women leaders, they agree that they will take steps to ensure those ones are met.
Yeah, but one would have expected that those would have been ready before this directive.
In times of emergency, they are talking of due process. It is necessary process you adopt when there is crisis of this nature in our hand.
Okay.
You don't follow due, you follow necessary process.
Okay. Now, we also understand that the use of the face masks in Edo State is supposed to start being in effect today. The government is supposed to start, enforcing it. So how correct is that?
Yes, it's correct. It's still part of the measure. Guidelines are given to hoteliers, transporters, and stay at home for the ordinary Nigerian, in spite of the macroeconomic imbalance. Of course, that one is there naturally. But the issue, when you have to come out, use face masks.
Yeah, but considering how expensive
the
prices have gone up.
The governor has also taken steps that some of these associations, these tailoring association, they can do some of these things. And
is the government funding that?
For the government to say some of them, we have spoken to them.
And there's an arrangement between these unions and the government.
Yes, of course. Every leader patents his own signature. You make arrangements. We are in a civilized world. So that's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now let us also look at some other issues because time now we understand that the fumigation exercise, in other words, alternative places where traders are supposed to go to now, they are supposed to sell their wares between 8 o'clock in the morning and sometime around 3:30 in the afternoon. Am I correct?
Between 8 o'clock
in the morning
and
3:30.
But by 3:30 the day is over.
Yeah, but Commissioner, we are looking at so many issues here. Yes. Whether we like it or not, we still have some very workers that they work at night. They go to the market at night and all that. Of course, they are not stopping now because of the importance of their job. So you mean those people that after 3:30 they don't have something to buy?
You are talking of the normal situation. People who work at night. You are talking normal. This time is not normal. It's abnormal. We are just taking steps. These are just steps the government is taking to at least ensure that we fight headlong this disease, because it is a common enemy. And it is the duty of the government to so do. When you are talking of the normal thing that used to, when there is no crisis in our hands, right, then you are talking of due process. I'm saying in this kind of crisis, where emergency is at its peak, then you use the necessary process. At the end of the day, it will be for the wellness of the society. And that is the primary goal of every government.
All right, now let's look at palliatives because you hear states, people talking about government palliatives like in other climes outside the country, local governments, state governors giving stimulus packages to citizens. Now, are there any plans on ground by the Edo State government for citizens of the state to enjoy?
Not just citizens, vulnerable, the needy, because there is no government, no way government can take of all citizens. For example, there is no way you can call yourself a needy or the vulnerable.
No, you can. I have my needs. I'm not.
No. In the light of when we are talking of the needy now in terms of crisis, for example, somebody who ordinarily has no job, and employment is nature's physician. Ordinarily has no job. And this, it goes out, every day, every time to, look for what to do. That one, obviously, there is an ocean of, gulf of ocean, serious one between you and that person.
Yeah.
So when the needy, the vulnerable, the aged, those people who can no longer work, they will be taken care of. The government is putting plans, in place to do that. It's not just this tokenist thing, giving money out that for example, parastatals of government like the EDPA has done that, giving foodstuffs and other edibles to people in Ego, Ovianoti, and so many.
Yeah, but people don't see them.
They see them. Maybe the means of seeing them, not because of power. These things are, yes.
All right, so you're saying that these things are distributed.
They are distributed, yes.
Now, you talked about
that. Is parastatal. The government is coming out with a comprehensive, stimulus package.
How long will this take?
It will not stay long, very soon.
Yeah, but the effects are biting harder by the day.
These effects have been there. Government is just stepping up, this empathy to do this because it is duty to do, and because of the situation at hand.
Okay. Now you talked about the needy, the vulnerable in the society. Now we have situation on the ground that has to bother on
even like in Lagos State, where they are even giving now, they are earmarked for 200,000 households. But you know that Lagos State has over 22 million population citizens. So there is no way a government can take. So you select the needy, you ensure that these people genuinely.
But don't you think there are going to be issues with that? Because whether we like it or not, we must admit how the porosity of our borders in the state.
Yes.
Edo State is probably one state that anybody can come into and probably anybody can leave. So if less privileged,
when somebody is coming
outside the state, they come in at this time and they take advantage of that. Don't you think that may pose a problem for
advantage
the
of what now?
Advantage of the stimulus package that maybe the government is trying to give to Edolites.
But there is no way they can, because these things, local government by local government, and we know ourselves. Somebody coming from Kano, for example, because there are stimulus packages, you are coming to take advantage. One way or the other, you will be discovered. You will be discovered. When a community or local community, you want to give, stimulus packages to people there, they know themselves. They know the need if they are serious about this thing. So it will be difficult. Okay,
now the other day we understand that one or two local government councils, started by writing names, which we had that on our news, and that there was a directive given by the state government to compile names of all that. In reaction to that, the deputy governor of the state reacted and said that the government is not part of that. So what is the true nature of that?
The government was not part. I think the local government, the Argon, on their own, wanted to take initiative. And these things must be, it's a coalition war. For example, those involved in COVID-19 response team, you have the World Health Organization, you have the NCDC, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, UBTH, even ITV. I must tell you, your man around town program has been doing a lot. And so that it's not, you don't do these things fragmented manner. So when the local government took it upon themselves, the state said, no, that is not the way. Let us harmonize and do it properly. Okay. So there was not a meeting between, local governments who met well for their various local governments and the state, who is not their enemy.
Okay. So, now, Commissioner, let's go back to the market one more time. Now, allegations are that there are no preparations for security in these alternative places. That is an issue.
Oh, that one has been taken care of. We have one.
Can they go around the places?
There are many. They can go around, and even in this COVID-19, the security aspect, the governor hosts Security Council meeting all the time, and the Commissioner of Police is aware of all this. So they also deploy officers in this direction. And people should know, of course, this kind of situation, people want to, exhibit that tendency, criminal tendency. But this is not the time, because the person will be easily arrested. How can you subscribe to subterranean values at this time? Then you have yourself to thank.
Now, how is the Edo State government trying to look at the idea that borders on prices of food items going up? Like in some other
Market
states,
forces.
the state government is, you know, in relationship with the Farmer Council, Farmers Association of the state. Is the state government doing that?
Yes. You know, this thing must border on persuasion. Somebody who is selling his or her wares, I'm selling it at this price. It's not, that person is not forcing you to buy from him or her. So it's just persuasion. The state government is trying to talk to the market women association, their leaders, to talk to sensitize their people on why not to, you know, use this period as exploitative period to ensure that they also you know, have that empathy for people, because these are times that really try men's souls. So that has been done. I think the general, even in terms of you know, sensitization, you know, I mentioned your crew, man around town.
Town crew,
there's this correlation, I know, if you like, causation between grassroots mobilization and radio broadcasting. You know, many people, if they cannot watch the television,
they can listen to
listen to radio. So all this to drive home the message to our people in the hinterland. And man around town, then the Silver Bay area parliament in Silver Bay, they have done a lot. And I want to thank you for being, thank ITV for being a dependable partner.
Well, thanks for thanking us.
So these are the issues. But generally, when people are not allergic to change, you know, and they say stay at home, at least for a short while, for your own good, not punishment, it ought not to set cock a hoop. It ought not to cause any problem.
Okay. All right, so you are reiterating that the wearing of the face mask, the enforcement starts today.
Yes.
So what happens if...
I have mine here.
I know, and of course I have one with me here. So what happens if, for example, I'm being caught on the streets of Benin, I don't have my face mask on?
That one, two things. You just want to undermine the strength of government.
Okay.
That's just the truth. You want to undermine. Why did you come out? A man of full age and competent understanding has been given directive by government. Put on this, not as punishment, if you must come out to save your life. And you are coming and you want to undermine this potency of that order.
Yeah, Commissioner, you see, the professionals would tell you that it is not every person that needs the face mask.
Yes, that's professional, that medical, but we are not all professionals. You need a physician this time as a a dependable partner. But those who are aware may have no need for a physician. I hope you know. And these are, so when you say your dependable partner must be a sailor, what of those who travel by land? Will they need any sailor? These are the issues. So the vagaries of arguments are there. And at the end of the day, we don't pray we create a situation of Protagoras dilemma. For some people, Protagoras and Eutalus will be fighting within them. They don't know what to do. But they should follow the directive. Obedience is better than to sacrifice.
And I wanted to reiterate something, that the time limit for markets now is between 8 in the morning and 3. Is that what you're saying?
No, you said it.
Yeah, no, that's why you are the government mouth. You are the commissioner.
We did not actually initially emphasize that timing.
No, okay, what is government emphasizing? What is the time limit? Is it timeless? As in, is it the normal time?
It cannot be timeless. In school, no light. Every normal human being must have an internal logos for self-evaluation.
So what is the time limit?
You are in public place, school.
Yeah.
Once it's 4. Obviously, you should advise yourself that to leave. This one, we should bring reason to every purpose now. And some schools are secluded. Just so when you now invite hoodlums, people to take advantage, because in the darkness of, when it becomes dark and they want to hide their tendencies, who will you blame? Because without education, you should know that by 4, in such places, in schools, you should go home.
Yeah, but Commissioner, one would have even expected that these schools are fumigated first before you take the traders.
They fumigated most of the schools.
Most of them.
Yes.
But we didn't see that.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't make the news. I trust independent radio and television. If that was done, maybe would have our camera.
But okay, but you saw when they fumigated some areas.
Yeah, we saw some bus stops, some 1 or 2 places, but for the public schools, we didn't see that.
Okay. But I know they fumigated some.
Okay, okay. Anyway, it's a very big thank you.
When ITV went on recess.
No, we don't go on recess.
Okay.
We don't go on recess. At least we are essential workers.
Yes.
We work 20 hours. We work 24 hours of the day, so we don't go on recess.
Thank you.
We don't go on recess. Commissioner, thank you so much for finding time to join us on the program today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we've been speaking with Honorable Commissioner for Communications and Orientation, Mr. Paul Ohonbamo, bearing his mind on some of the issues, arising issues that has to do with the fumigation of the market places. Thank you so much one more time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you.